Watch this. It's the greatest magic trick in professional sports. A player gets into legal trouble and the team he's on drops him instantly. Cue the somber press release, the "we hold our players to a higher standard" energy, the whole church choir routine. And then a few months later, a completely different team signs that exact same guy, calls it redemption, and gets a standing ovation for it. Same player, same rap sheet, two opposite moral universes. And the entire sports world just nods along like this makes a lick of sense. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda. So I grew up in Detroit, and I've been a Detroit Lions fan my entire life. If you know anything about the Lions, it's less of a hobby and more of a lifelong subscription to disappointment that I never learned how to cancel. This is a franchise that once went 0-16, an entire season, not one win. So trust me when I tell you, I've earned the right to be cynical about this team. And right now, Detroit's got a situation on their hands. Our guy, Terrion Arnold, first-round pick, drafted in 2024 out of Alabama. He's a cornerback, supposed to be starting on the outside this year, got himself arrested. He's been charged with multiple felonies. We're talking kidnapping, armed robbery, to an alleged plot where 3 men were lured somewhere, robbed, and beaten. Now, to be crystal clear about this whole thing, Arnold says he wasn't even there. His camp says there's no credible evidence linking him to any of it. And even the judge said the prosecution isn't there yet on proving their case. So this is just charges, it's allegations. The guy has not been convicted of a single thing. But if he is, he could spend the rest of his life in jail. So there's that flip side to it. But anyway, the Lions have released him. That following Monday, they cut him loose, and to absolutely no one's surprise, Detroit did the Detroit thing and let the guy go before he had even had a proper day in court. They released him faster than I release a New Year's resolution, and this right here is the fundamental problem with the NFL. And honestly, probably every other sport too, because here's how it works. A player gets in trouble, legal trouble, moral trouble, ethical trouble, pick your flavor. And not some scrub, usually, a decent player, a good player, a guy who is almost certainly going to play in the league this year. And the second that happens, the team he happens to be on is required, I tell you, to cut him and perform a big public show of intolerance. Solemn statement. This does not reflect our values. The full morality play is out there. It's opening night, standing room only, and everyone is just clutching their pearls and delivering it with all the fervor of a housewife. But here's the part that drives me up a wall. Which team eats that hit? Well, it's whichever one he happened to be on at that time. That's it. That's the whole criteria. It's happenstance, luck, coincidence. When did we all quietly agree that a man's alleged crimes belong to whatever franchise's laundry he had on that particular week? The Lions didn't do anything. They just drew the short end of the straw of being his current employer. So now they have to be the ones to torch a first-round talent to look principled about it. And then, right on cue, some other team will probably come strolling in on the second half of this little theater production, and the everyone deserves a second chance team and mantra will come out. This has been happening the entire history of the league. Michael Vick, federal dog fighting conspiracy, did 21 months in actual prison. Comes out, and the Philadelphia Eagles sign him. And suddenly he's the greatest comeback story ever. Kareem Hunt, there's a literal video of him shoving and kicking a woman in a hotel. Kansas City cuts him the same day. And then a few months later, the Cleveland Browns scoop him right up. And maybe down the road, that's Terrion Arnold too. Some team out there is going to sign him and roll out the most heartwarming, totally fetch redemption story since the invention of the acoustic guitar. Rising of the Phoenix. Cue the strings. It's a Hallmark movie with a helmet and a logo. And here's what kills me. The NFL forces two completely contradictory greeting card philosophies to exist at the same time. Philosophy number 1, zero tolerance. We do not stand for this. Out you go. Philosophy number 2, everyone deserves a second chance. People change. Welcome home. And the punchline, the part that should be illegal, is that the league gets to run both of these at once by just splitting the two rules across two different teams. One team has to play the strict dad who kicks you out of the house, and the other team plays the cool aunt who says he's just misunderstood and lets you move into the basement. Same league, same kid, two completely different scripts. And that first team's big noble stand, it lasts exactly as long as it takes a rival GM to pull up the guy's 40 time. That's it. It's a window dressing, pure performance. Because at the end of the month or next season or whenever it's convenient, another team brushes the whole thing aside. He's grown. He's a different man now. It'll never happen again. This is his rebirth, and signs him. Same human being, different hat, opposite morality. So riddle me this. How is the same man a monster in Detroit and a folk hero in the next town he's going to be in? And here's what I actually wanted from my team. Imagine if the Lions had stepped up and said something like, look, Terrion has been accused. He has not been convicted of anything. We're going to work through this. We're going to keep his contract in place. Put him on the commissioner's exemption list. And for anyone who doesn't follow the inside baseball stuff, it's basically the NFL's version of paid administrative leave. The guy's off the field, he's not practicing, he's not playing, he doesn't count against the roster, but he's still under contract, still part of the organization while the legal process actually plays itself out. And then they say the quiet part out loud. We believe in second chances. And if he clears himself of these charges, we want him back to a place where he felt like family. That's it. That's the whole radical idea. Not, we love kidnapping, just let the courts do the court thing before you set a guy's career on fire so that you have the press release that you're supposed to release. But instead, one team always just has to take the hit. And a different team always gets to reap the reward, not because of justice, not because anybody actually got safer or better, purely as a piece of symbolic dancing, a little performative, philosophical principle theater where everybody hits their marks and takes a little bow at the end. The team that cuts him gets to feel morally superior for about a week, and then the team that signs him gets to feel compassionate and enlightened forever. Both of them get to feel great about themselves, and the only thing that actually changed is the logo on the guy's cap. It's the sports equivalent of a divorce where one spouse takes all the blame and then the other person marries the exact same ex a month later and calls it true love. So the next time your team drops a good player to send a message, just remember what the message really is. It's not that we have standards. It's that, damn, we drew the short straw and somebody else is about to get the Pro Bowler for cheap. The morality is fake. The talent is real. And the whole league is running a shell game where the villain and the hero are the same guy in different jerseys. Anyway, that's my rant. I'll be over here, still a Lions fan, still emotionally unwell about it. Peter Von Panda, out.